Happy day, friends, and welcome to day 30. Woo! Day 30, it's day 30. Welcome to day 30, my friends of Devoted. We have made it to the end of this journey. You have one more day left after today, and I really hope that this journey has been uplifting for you. I hope that it has empowered you. I hope that you feel encouraged. I hope that you feel supported, and not by me, but supported by yourself, because that's something that you'll find is that, a lot of times whenever we're moving throughout our different phases of life, it can be really easy to feel as if we don't have any support, right? But until we really step into the role of caretaker, of being the caretaker for ourselves, and until we really step into that space of living a life of devotion, it can feel like that. But once we start to devote ourselves to the essence of who we are, once we start to devote ourselves to really being present for our process of growth and expansion, then we begin to feel more supported. And so I hope that you feel supported by yourself, because that is what you're doing as you are committing to living a life of devotion. You are supporting yourself. You are giving yourself the type of support that you need mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, energetically. And so I hope that you feel supported. I hope that you feel supported. I hope that you feel more present, more alert, more aware of yourself, and who you are in this world. And I hope that after this journey is over, that you will continue to cultivate a practice that works for you, that resonates with you, so that you can continue to ground and center yourself in the bigger reality that exists. So let's go ahead and settle into this space by taking our 3 deep breaths together. We will, of course, on the inhale, squeeze our body together, creating that tension in our body. And on the exhale, allowing everything to release, allowing everything to relax. So go ahead and close your eyes. Go ahead and just sigh the breath out, emptying your lungs completely. And let's take a deep breath in together through our nose, creating that tension in your body. And sigh it out. Allowing everything to relax. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Allowing everything to relax. Allowing yourself to relax. Allowing yourself to lean into the stillness. Allowing yourself to lean into rest. Allowing yourself to lean into your inner knowing. Go ahead and open your eyes. And I'll introduce today's mantra. Allow yourself to write it down, say it out loud a couple of times. Today's mantra says, I live in truth. I walk in the light. I live in truth. I walk in the light. I live in truth. I walk in the light. Now, with this mantra, I live in truth. I live in truth. Truth being that you are the essence of all that is. That you aren't just a part of the essence of all that is, but you are the essence of all that is. The truth being what we have grounded ourselves in for the last few days by focusing on devoting ourselves to God in truth. You are nothing, and yet you are everything. And everything that God is, you are. Everything that God is, you are. You are the essence of all that is. You are living, walking in perfect harmony with the essence of all that is. And when you surrender everything that you thought you were, you begin to uplift what the truth of who you are. So I live in truth. I live in the truth that I am that I am. I am the very essence of God. I am the light and life of God, right? Going back through our mantras that we've been sitting with for the past few days. I am the light and life of God. I live in that truth. I live in that truth. So what does that look like? What does that look like when I live in that truth? What do I become in this world, in this life? How do I begin to show up in this world, in this life, when I live in, when I give myself permission to live in that truth? How do I begin to show up? Do I grow a few inches taller because I'm more confident? And not because my confidence is coming from anything outside of me, not because my confidence is coming from other people seeing me or validating me, which is what I'm used to in the past, but simply because I am deciding to live in the truth that says, I am the very essence of God. And so I'm more confident. What begins to change? How do you begin to show up in the world whenever you allow yourself to live in the truth? Whenever you allow yourself to walk in the light. I live in truth, I walk in the light. When we say, I walk in the light, we don't mean that our head is in the clouds and that we're not paying attention to what's going on around us. That doesn't mean that we aren't experiencing dark moments in our lives. It means that even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. I will not walk in fear. Instead, I will walk in the light. Instead, I will remember that there is a light within me, that I am the very light itself, and that even though I may face dark moments, I am going to stay centered and I'm going to remember that light. I'm going to hold on to that light and I'm going to allow that light to guide me, to lead me. I walk in the light means that I am allowing the light within me to be the very foundation for my life. And I know that when I stand in that, when that is my intention, and I stand in that intention, when I live in that intention, no matter what happens in my life, I'll be just fine. Because my light is always guiding me through. Because the essence of who I am is always guiding me through. I live in truth. I walk in the light. I live in truth. I walk in the light. Meaning That even though in the past I may have made mistakes, even though there are times in the past when I saw the darkest parts of myself and I presented the darkest parts of myself to other people, even though that's a part of my past, it's okay. I forgive myself. I share grace and compassion with myself because I'm leaning into the light. Because those moments, even in those moments, the light was there and it was guiding me, which is why I'm no longer there. Right? Right? Isn't it so amazing, so beautiful, just the process of life and of evolution and just becoming and unlearning and undoing. I live in truth. I walk in the light. I want to invite you to go ahead and close your eyes and take your attention to your mind's eye. And I want you to see before you in your mind's eye, there's a long hallway. And notice yourself begin to look down at the floor. And there's a light that is meeting you at your feet. And you begin to step forward down this hallway, following this light. And you're following this light, walking down the hallway. And then you notice the light split off to the right, stopping at a door. And you look at the outside of the door and you notice that there is a label on the door. And this label on this door represents what it is that your inner being wants you to receive as you begin to live in truth and walk in the light. What does that label say? And then you notice yourself open the door. And as you open the door, you notice a rush of light meet you at the door. And then you close the door and you continue walking down the hall, following this light as it's guiding you, leading you down the hall. And then you notice the light curve or turn to the left, again, stopping at another door. And you notice again the outside of the door. You open the door this time and you walk in. And when you see yourself in your mind's eye walk through this door, you see on the wall in front of you that there is a whiteboard. And on the whiteboard, you notice that there are 3 words. And these 3 words, again, represent what it is that your inner being wants you to receive and experience as you begin to commit to living in the truth and walking in the light. Take note of what's on the whiteboard, and then you notice yourself walk back towards the door, exiting the room. And again, the light begins to flow down the hallway, and you follow the light down the hallway. And you reach the end of the hallway where the light pauses once again, and there's another door. at the end of the hallway. Notice yourself open this door. You walk into the room. And when you walk into the room, you notice that there's this beautiful chair sitting in the middle of the room. And you begin to walk towards the chair and you take a seat. And as you're sitting in the chair, you hear the door open and you hear footsteps, someone walking towards you. You look up towards your left and you see this person standing next to you, and this time it's an older version of you, of yourself. And you notice this older version of yourself. They place one hand on your upper back, your heart space, but on your back. And then they place the other hand on your forehead, on your third eye space. And as this older version of yourself, you has their hands on you, you can see and feel light flooding into you from your own hands. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Another deep breath in and sigh it out. And you just see yourself there, seated in the chair, receiving light from yourself. And then you notice this older version of yourself remove their hands. They reach down and they give you a hug. And then they exit the room. And then you take a deep breath in, so inhaling through your nose. And you sigh it out. Releasing the image from your mind's eye. Keeping your eyes closed, but placing one hand on your heart space. We'll take 3 deep breaths in together. I want you to imagine that you're breathing in a bright white light into your heart space where your hand is resting. Deep breath in through your nose. And sigh it out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Deep breath in. And sigh it out. Releasing your hand down. Allowing yourself to pause and rest in the stillness. Allowing yourself to pause and rest in the quiet for just a moment. You live in truth. you walk in the light. Go ahead and take a moment to repeat the mantra a couple of times. I live in truth. I walk in the light. I live in truth. I walk in the light. I live in truth. I walk in the light. Take a deep breath in. And sigh it out. Slowly, gently begin to open your eyes. Coming back to this space. I want to invite you to sit with that question that I offered during the meditation. What does my inner being want me to receive? When I decide to live in truth and I decide to walk in the light, what exactly is it that my inner being is wanting me to receive? What is my inner being wanting me to see? What is my inner being trying to show me? Honestly, the question it's so powerful. I can't even get the word. I'm like, wow. As I live in truth, as I walk in the light, what fruits will I experience? What are the benefits that I will experience that my inner being is showing me I will experience as I make the decision to live in truth and to walk in the light? What will be different about me and in my life? For some of you, you may actually genuinely smile and laugh for the first time in a very long time. For some of you, you might find yourself living in truth and walking in the light, and you might just have the biggest cry session that you've ever had, because finally you're allowing yourself to be the safe space that you needed to really open up and release what it is that you've been holding on to release the burdens that you've been carrying. When you walk in the light, that's what you give yourself permission to do. You give yourself permission to come undone. You give yourself permission to let it all go. You give yourself permission to surrender. You create this space for yourself to be able to do that. Because now you're not trying for perfection. You're just allowing yourself to just be who and what you are in this moment. You're giving yourself permission to say, I am the very essence of God. No matter who I thought I ever was or who I tried to be in the past, now I know that I am the very essence of God. So I can relax, I can release, I can let it all go. For some of you, as I was saying before, you might grow a few inches taller. Your self-esteem may grow, expand. Your confidence might grow and expand. You might find your voice, right? Your inner being may be saying to you, I want you to walk in the light. I want you to live in truth and walk in the light, because when you do, you'll find your voice again. Whatever it might be for you, it came up for you. Whatever was on that whiteboard, whatever was labeled on that door, that was for you. But also continue to sit with that question and allow your inner knowing, allow your inner being to show you what exactly it is that you will receive, what the benefits might be from you making the decision to live in truth and walk in the light. Thank you so much for being here with me for today's session. This was really beautiful. Let me know in the comments what might have come up for you if you would like. We have one more day. We have one more day together. You can always come back to this series or to any of the particular, sessions that resonated with you. It's always going to be here available to you whenever you want to come back to it. But we have one more day together in this journey, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm really grateful to you. I'm appreciative to you for being present and for doing the work. I love you so much. Go be in truth. Go walk in the light fiercely, boldly, confidently. And don't let anything stop you ever again. I'll see you tomorrow.